So here's what we're going to do. It is random encounter time, friends, as you are making your way through the woods. And I, being the... Go ahead.
While we're making our way through, we do use the rope to not lose each other.
Yes. Yes, and again, because the fog does get denser and denser as you go in. We're going to go ahead, and I'm gonna roll this randomly, and we're going to roll with whatever happens. This is going to be super fun. So... Now, this could count as either mountain or forest. I'm going to go ahead and go with forest.
I'll say either's fine. Like, once you get a certain point north, it stops being mountain and becomes tundra, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
I see that.
Oh boy, more assassins!
So, yeah, as you're making your way through, I'm going to go ahead and give you all a perception check really quick. Okay. As I am setting up this encounter.
Yeah, before I would send the bats out, I would cast mage armor on myself before we actually head into the fog.
Okay.
I might have a way we can make better use of that, actually.
Let's see. Okay. So...
Oh God! Of course, that's when you roll the 6.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So mage armor's up, and so her ward is also up.
So Maven.
Yes.
Have you ever been in a fight before?
I was in a few. I suppose you could call them bar brawls in my youth.
I'm aware of how rough those can get, as humans would define them in compared to Dwarven bar brawls.
Maven over here being like, we don't talk about Fight Club.
I was more asking are you adverse to enhancing magics?
I can't say I've ever experienced anything like that before. Pray tell, could you explain further in maybe more common terms? Remember, I'm just a simple woman.
I can transform you into something stronger. I can turn you invisible.
I'm not sure I need to be invisible or...
need to be none, but it's rather difficult to defend oneself against an invisible person swimming a giant metal ladle at your face, especially when you can't see it coming.
True.
And it's that much easier. It's that much more difficult to harm it.
As you're speaking, an owl, you notice, is sitting on one of the branches of a tree that you walk past, and it goes, Who are you looking for?
Calder reaches into a bag at his side, and reaches into his bag of tricks and grabs one of the spheres there.
Sure.
Just holding it there for now.
Okay, so you're not actually throwing it yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
How close is the if Swoops is on Charlotte's necklace and she's using his senses to see right now, he has blind vision to 60 feet. Within that radius, is that how low the owl is, or is it beyond that?
Yeah, no, it's sitting on a tree, very much unafraid of all of you. Just like you wouldn't be able to reach up and touch it, but it's probably, I don't know, about 30 or 20 or 30 feet in the air looking down at you.
And it was speaking in common.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's speaking as though it is not used to speaking. Like it doesn't speak comfortably. Who are you looking for?
I think Charlotte pauses, double checks with Swoops that the voice did indeed come from what looks like a bird in a tree through echolocation. Waits to see if anyone else responds first.
We are looking for someone we suspect is in the area.
Del is gonna look up at the bird and go like, I'm looking for Kotan.
Hoot. So you're not looking for the wolves, then?
Usually not.
I
At
see.
this point, like Calder will at this point pull mention of wolves, like, oh god, we'll drop one of the things to the ground.
There are some wolves, there's some wolves that are searching through the area. I think they may be looking for the same thing you look for.
Who are you to know what we look for?
And it just kind of like cocks its head. So if you wish to avoid the wolves, you should move north. If you wish to find the wolves, you should continue on your current route. Just trying to help. Hoot hoot. Dell, give me a history check, please.
Dragging a hootie into this. Why are you like this?
Where's the blowfish?
Don't do good with history.
Actually, that's not bad. You remember the last time you approached the hut that there were also some talking animals there as well. Like, perhaps part of Baba Yaga's effect on the area is that either some animals or all animals or something become awakened and able to communicate.
Yeah.
Now, whether they're actually helpful or whether they're leading you into a trap, that's an entirely different thought.
Dell will turn to Charlotte and be like, "You're the one with the flying thing. I don't know how your feels about awakened animals are."
Is that what that is? Is that what you are? She calls up to the owl.
Who am I? It cocks its head. Who? What am I? And
You're
then
a bird.
flies away.
All right. So Charlotte has pesters and dives about she had them about 100, 200 feet out, so she'll start calling them a little bit closer to do more dedicated around them, search patterns.
Give me two perception checks.
Yeah, they're staying at least 60 feet off the ground.
Yeah, give me two perception checks, and since this is echolocation, I'm not going to ding you for the fog.
Yeah. In fact, if they're listening, they get advantage. So.
In fact, go ahead and take advantage.
Okay, I'm going to just roll it from Swoops' thing, because he has the same stats.
Yeah, they're the same.
Okay.
Jen, check Discord real
One
quick.
check. And then here's another check. Yeah.
Okay. So, I will say that Pester finds three... finds three werewolves that are sniffing around and are actually relatively close to you. In fact, just on the other side of a few trees, and they're sniffing around.
As soon as he telepathically communicates that, Charlotte will say quietly but out loud, they're over there, and point in the direction.
And these are very much the same sort of tusked orc werewolves that you have interacted with in the past. And in fact, as you do, a couple more of them emerge from the brush to exchange sort of information with the others. They have a little bit of a conversation, and then they're going to begin to spread out again. They're clearly looking for something. They're sniffing around the forest.
If as soon as Pester says that there's more coming, Charlotte will grab onto Calder and say, "I'm going to go pay attention real quick," and she will go into Pester's senses because she can do that because they all act as her familiar, and she understands Orc. So what are they saying?
They are. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of a conversation. Well, I smell something, but it's not. Why are all the animals talking to us? And the other one says, I don't know. What we were told to find the thing, right? We're told to find the chicken hut, and that's what we're gonna do. I don't care about some talking birds. They still taste the same. is the bit of conversation that you get.
Calder will reach into his bag and pull out another of the drop it.
Charlotte will say quietly, they are searching for a chicken hut.
Oh
All
boy,
their senses are still over there.
Really quick. So have you dropped 2 things out of there now?
2 now, yeah.
Awesome. Badger, giant crab.
Right. Let's see.
She also says out loud, they've picked up our scent.
Let's see. The badger is face chomper, and the giant crab is the blue meanie.
Now, they both have G as their thing, so sorry. You'll have to hover over each one because they both start with G for giant. You'll have to hover over each one to see which one's which.
Shall we go eliminate the competition? Charlotte asks as she pulls her senses back into herself.
I think that would be prudent.
Okay. How are we going to do this?
Well, I mean, I'm not very good at stealth, so I could take the direct approach, and the rest of you could flank around if we think that's good.
I'm going to... How far away is it?
About, and she gives them the estimate.
2, 4,
what are they
6, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. They're about 50, 60 feet directly to the west of you. And there are currently 5 of them that you can perceive.
Okay.
They don't look good.
Okay, in that case, let's get them over here, and I'm going to cast Crusader's Mantle.
Ooh, okay. Crusader's Mantle. What is that spell?
So, Del is going to basically clap his hands in front of his holy symbol, which is the gem on his chest, and he generates an aura of 30 foot, which awakens boldness in friendly creatures. The aura moves with me. Each non-hostile creature in the aura deals an extra 1d8 radiant damage when it hits with a weapon attack.
I see 1d4.
Oh, 1d4, you're right. I spelled numbers wrong.
All good. Just making sure I know what's up. And that's a 30-foot radius. Now, it's holy power. What does this look like? This is important because it will determine whether the werewolves notice what you're doing.
Oh, my intention is for them to notice what I'm doing.
Perfect. Okay. So this glow for just a moment sort of temporarily dispels the fog in the immediate area and fills you all with this incredible feeling of bravery and resilience. And as you do, a howl comes up in the fog away from you. And we're going to go ahead and roll initiative at this time.
When Delmain was doing that, my instructions to my summon things are attack whoever Delmain attacks.
Excellent. And does anybody else have any other spells? I'll give you 1 round to cast a thing before we join combat.
I'll cast. I will cast Grease on the area between us and the werewolves.
Grease has what radius?
It's a 10-foot radius.
No, neither of those are concentration. Okay.
Calder, you don't run with weapons, right?
No.
Does that look like a good spot?
Yes. The intent is to, and because they don't see me, again, I'll spend the spell point to use subtle spell, my newest meta magic.
Nice. So that they don't hear you cast it.
Yeah, it's just no verbal, no somatic components. Just happens, and now that they haven't noticed, if they come charging at us, life will suck.
Sorry, I have a question. I know it says weapon attack. Does that include? I'm assuming that does not include the animals.
Animals do make weapon attacks. Yes, animal attacks are not unarmed; they are weapon attacks.
Yeah, natural weapons are still weapons.
Yes.
I'm not dropping it on Calder or Charlotte because I'm pretty sure your guys are both magic.
Yeah. But I will, during this precast, I will pop Armor of Agathis, casting with my other, because it's not concentration, second level slot. So I will get 10 temporary HP from that underneath my ward.
Beautiful. Love it.
I'm keeping track of them.
Wonderful. Okay. So let's go ahead and roll initiative, friends, please, and thank you.
And then I will also draw my fuck all huge sword.
Mm.
16 for Delmain, 6 for Maven. An inauspicious first roll for our newest character.
I'm not good at rolling initiative. It's always low.
I have advantage on it now.
Mm-hmm. Gotta admit, feels real sweet.
And then let's do. Can we have all of my familiars going on the same turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. The bottom of the pile.
Yep.
Yes. Well, I'll have plenty of time to get a little riled up, I guess.
So you hear howls, Charlotte. You know the direction and general distance to where these werewolves are. What do you do? It's your turn.
Okay. So the howls and everything came from the same direction that we knew. There's no other party that started howling.
Right.
Okay. Charlotte is going to let's see. 5, 10, 15. She's gonna move over here and telepathically tell Swoops and the other two to switch to battle mode of calling out the 3 closest combatants to me with their senses and to take the dodge actions. So Swoops is going to go fly up from her necklace, so he's 60 feet up on his turn.
Sounds good to me.
And I think how long does that last? 10 minutes? That one lasts an hour? No, I think she'll
Oh, I was supposed to have an advantage rolled on my initiative. Should I re-roll initiative?
Yeah, roll it again.
She will cast.
Okay, I'll roll it a second time, and if it's better or worse, we'll find out.
It can't get much worse than it was.
You say that, but
I said much worse. Wow. Wow. Okay, so that actually gets Maven up to the top of the stack. So what we're gonna do is let's go ahead and finish Charlotte's.
Oh my God.
Let's go ahead and from the bottom to the top. Let's go ahead and finish Charlotte's roundup first, and then we'll go ahead and. So Maven just took an extra half second, going, "Wait, that's right. I'm really good at this."
Yeah, I have feral instinct, and it gives me advantage. I was just reading through some of my stuff because I'm still kind of learning.
Yeah, totally.
It's not concentration, so might as well cast it. So she walks over there. She's got her ward up. She has the armor of Agathis, so there's like ice and like mist clinging to her. And then she's also going to do a little motion, and she will blade ward herself on top of all of that.
Nice.
That's my turn.
Blade
and
ward.
I think she'll call it an Orcish. I smell the stench of orcs.
Until the end of your next turn, you have resistance against... Oh, cool.
Bludgeoning,
Excellent.
piercing, and slashing dealt by weapon attacks. On top of her ward and her temp HP.
Okay.
It's fine.
Maven. So you hear the howls coming from in front of you. You do know that there is a large circular grease puddle between you and the werewolves. What do you do?
How much of this is difficult terrain, real quick?
If you are moving directly through one of the trees, I will count that as difficult terrain. Otherwise, it is normal terrain.
Yeah. So in this case, I'm going to... because she's not fast, I would say. Give me just a second. I'm just looking at just a couple of things.
I'm also going to turn on the player. Well, player line of sight is not a huge thing because there's fog everywhere. I am going to say that unless you are within 10 feet, any ranged attacks are going to be at disadvantage. And that's just overall, unless, of course, you're using blind sense or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think that first things first. I am going to merely move, and my plan is to move here.
Your move speed is 35 feet because barbarians get an extra 10.
Oh,
so that's 25, but
so
you have another 10 if you want to spend it.
I have another 10 there, so that's that, and then I'm going to use dash because I'm kind of going around these trees.
If you move beyond that, you lose the radiant effect.
Yeah, if you stay back and like hold your action to attack, might bait them closer.
Yeah.
Okay, then
take the defense. Just take the dodge action and just let them come at you. Or spend your bonus action to rage.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about raging. So yeah, like, yeah, she, you see her kind of getting really angry.
Now, I believe the thing about rage.
The thing about rage.
And I'm just going to double check.
It drops if from your turn to your next turn if you do not attack or get attacked. They don't have to hit you, and you don't have to hit, but right?
Yeah. Okay. So you rage. You have raging does not cost anything. So you.
Bonus action.
Oh, it is a bonus action. Okay. Are you sure? I thought it was just a thing.
It's a bonus action. Yes.
Cool. So you still have a full-on action. The suggestions that other players were saying was to either take the dodge action or prepare an attack for when something gets up close to you, or you can dash. It's totally up to you. It is your character. What do you got?
You know, I'm actually going to have her rage, but I actually am going to have her dash, because I want her to be
heck yeah,
like close to these guys. She's here to get hit, bitches.
Heck yeah.
So the thing is with her rage is that you kind of, it's hard to notice with her at first because you're looking from the back, like she's holding her ladle up, and she looks. I mean, she's wearing a dress. She has a fluffy fucking bonnet on. You know, she just got a little. She doesn't look anything different, except now all of a sudden you start seeing other matronly women holding various, very ghostly matron women holding various implements. One's got what looks like possibly a school ruler. Somebody's got a switch. A bunch of them have different kitchen implements, farming implements, lots of smithing implements. Every single one of them looks like the mother that would smack your ass if you did something wrong.
Yes. So as Maven goes into her rage, this is the ancestral guardian path of barbarians. And yeah, ghostly female dwarves begin to manifest around her, all of which look just as angry as she does right now. And
all angry mothers who have been pushed past their point.
Now, as a quick reminder, there are two things I believe that this can do. The first, where is it? Primal Path, Ancestral Guardians. Where did I put that? Someone look up the Ancestral Guardians path for me while I move on, because I want to mention exactly what it can do, but I don't seem to have that in front of me right now. For now, that's your turn. So we've got a werewolf.
Your choice grants you features at 3rd level and then 6. I'm like, but what are the features?
Okay, so Ancestral Protectors.
Yes.
Your Spectral Warriors appear when you enter Rage. While you are raging, the first creature you hit with an attack on your turn becomes the target of the warriors, which hinder its attacks. Until the start of your next turn, that target has a disadvantage on any attack roll that isn't against you. And when the target hits a creature other than you with an attack, that creature has resistance to the damage dealt by the attack.
So that's the first thing it does. When you attack something, you essentially mark it, right? You mark it and make it so that it can only attack you, or else it gets some serious penalties for attacking anyone else.
At 6th level, you can provide supernatural protection to those you defend. If you're raging and another creature you can see within 30 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to reduce that damage by 2d6. 3d6 now because you're over 10th level if you have 10 levels in Barbarian.
Not 10 levels in Barbarian yet. I believe
And
she's 9 and
2d6.
2. Okay, cool. So, Orc Werewolf 6 will straight up charge at the source of the noise, will enter the grease spot.
Cool. It gets to make a dexterity save.
Can you force that, or should I roll it?
I should be able to force it.
This is going to be hilarious. It does succeed.
Nat
Now,
20s, of course.
Now, does it have to succeed every square it moves, or is it just once and done?
Or ends its turn there. So.
Or ends its turn there.
Okay. It's when it enters the area or ends its turn there.
So
there's dexterity saving throws.
So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that it makes its dex save, but does not in any way alert the other werewolves that the grease is there. It's going to finish its move. Because it's an orc, it's going to spend a bonus action to use its aggression, and it is going to charge towards Charlotte. So we're going to go ahead and start with, we got a multi-attack, right? Which is a bite and one with a claws. So let's start with the claws. A 17 does hit. Do you have any reactions or anything?
I'll let it hit.
How magnanimous of you.
I know, right?
So it's going to go ahead and deal 7 points of damage.
It takes 10 points of cold damage
And
from my
it
armor of
takes
Agathis.
10 points of cold damage from the armor of Agathis.
So that's 7 off of my ward. Yep.
And now it's going to bite you. It's going to attempt to bite right through those horrible ice spikes. That's going to hit.
21. Yeah, I'll let that hit.
For another 7 points of damage.
It takes 10 more.
And I need a Constitution save from you, please.
I didn't actually take any damage. That was all in my ward.
That's
He's
fair.
not physically touched me yet.
All good.
Yeah.
So it goes up, it slashes, it bites, it bloodies itself on your armor. Werewolf 3 will note the dwarf, the very tasty-looking dwarf in the sort of red, maybe riding hood.
She tastes pretty spiced.
It's not a Red Riding Hood. It's a
What kind of what's it doing?
it's a
really
bonnet.
white bonnet.
Partially absorbed it. Okay, yeah, okay, it is doing it right. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start again with claws. It will not be able to hit you,
I'm short.
and it's
But it
gonna
did
try to
make
bite.
attack against you, so your rage is safe.
So your rage is safe. It will hit you with its bite. So I need a Constitution save from you, please. Assuming that this gets through your temporary HP, which it does. Oh no, it doesn't.
Nope. It.
No, it was partially resisted.
No, she has damage resistance, and then it
Dropped it.
and then it got hit by the.
I have piercing damage
So
absorption.
Yeah.
It only took off the temp. It didn't reach her.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So again, that's the thing about raging barbarians, right? They take half damage from bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing. That's non-magical. Yep. Dell, it's your turn.
Dirtied my apron, you bitch.
That happens. I'm going.
Yeah, but it's supposed to happen with like grease stains and shit.
This tree here.
Yeah.
I was mapping it out.
Oh, sorry.
real quick. Can you pull me back, please?
Yeah, that's where you were.
Yeah, there we go. Would that still be 30 movement?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Then I would like to do that, yeah.
Yep.
And then I will I'm gonna swing a guiding bolt at werewolf number 3.
This will be at disadvantage because of the fog.
That's fine.
Yep, you hit.
Drop the
Just-
nat 20 though. Ah.
Yeah, it happens. Okay.
Yeah, 1 in 400 chance of critting when you have disadvantage.
But it happens.
Wow, that's a lot of minimum damage.
It is.
That was
instead of
so
the
much minimum
D4,
damage.
I actually get a D8. Because it's not a weapon attack.
It's still 2.
It's the same number though. That's okay.
Good. It means I don't have to adjust anything.
But it does mean that the next person who goes to attack it gets advantage.
And I see you've already applied that effect. Very, very nice. Okay.
I'm
Werewolf,
intending to make a nuisance of myself. Thank you.
Werewolf Orc 2 is going to also go after Charlotte. So we're going to go ahead and sprint forward. Go ahead and force that dexterity save, please, Calder. Because she's the one talking shit.
Yeah, no, I called them out in their own language too. Like, hey.
She's the one talking shit. It fails that one.
It drops prone.
So it drops prone.
So it can spend half
Okay.
its movement. to back up again.
It is indeed going to spend half its movement to stand up because it took about half its movement to get to that point. It's going to use its aggression to bonus action and attempt to move again, but I want it to make another dex save. So it spends its bonus action, or it spends half its movement to stand up, and immediately falls over again.
It's
That is a very
It is the comical moment of unable to get its feet out.
So we're
funny.
not quite done yet. It hasn't used its action, so it's going to use its action to dash. It's going to spend half its movement to stand up, and it's going to attempt to move forward again. Give me another dex save.
Please fall over. Please fall over.
Amazing. Stands up, starts to run again, does that comical wheels spin thing, and then bam, right on its face for a third time.
I'm hearing the sound effect of
Yep. Spends half its movement to stand up, falls. Spends the other half of its movement to stand up, falls.
Orc 7 will see this happening. Will see that this is happening. I'm going to make a quick intelligence check for it to see if it can figure out how to bypass that. Nope.
Not at all.
It's just running forward. Give me that dex save.
There's no dawn in this world. How are they going to get that grease out of their fur?
We're doing the exact same thing. So it spent half its movement to get there. It stands up with the other half of its movement. It spends its bonus action to attempt to, again, slips again. Spends its action, half of it to stand up, and the other half to fall over. Amazing.
Oh my god, if you do not make an animatic about this, Olivia,
Oh, God.
I will be very disappointed.
So you now have... So one of them got through just fine, and the other two just cannot keep their feet. Calder, it's your turn. Calder.
Oh, actually, before Calder, it should be Swoops. He's at a 12. Can I get him on the combat tracker?
Yes.
And on the map, please.
Oh, good.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, so he flies up to 60 feet, taking the dodge action. So technically, he leaves the threatened range of Orc 6, if Orc 6 wants to take a swipe at him.
No. Orc 6 is pretty fixated on you, and Swoops hasn't done anything yet.
Okay,
It's just a bat.
Yeah, the other two are also circling around and telling Charlotte about the 3 closest enemies to her, and that's their turn.
Okay, now it's Calder's turn.
Calder, on Broom still, he'll take 60. He'll take also gain elevation, and will. He'll take elevation at an angle so that he moves closer to the action a little bit.
Sure.
Do I still see the werewolves?
At 60 feet, I'm gonna say you're able to pick out where they are, but again, any actual attack rolls are gonna be pretty rough for you.
Cool. I can still get a clear visual image of them for the sake of spellcast.
Yes.
Okay, cool. In that case, I'm going to spare some resources for now. I'm going to frostbite werewolf orc number 1 because he's gone untouched, and I want to make sure he also gets in on this.
That's true. And Frostbite's a save, right?
Put that on there last time.
It is a save. It is a save versus stuck.
And he failed.
So that's some damage.
What was it?
What do we got?
Just a note. There's a the cantrip's damage is wrong because it should be 3d6 at this level, and it's only 2d6.
Gotcha. Let me really quick. I'm just gonna note down the timestamp. It is 1 hour 50 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that for you right now, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Actions. Frostbite.
The first cantrip I have listed.
And oh, that's not right. Damage 3d6.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, that should be in right now. We are back in at 1 hour 51.
All right, and pile of cold damage. He takes 12 cold, and his next attack is at disadvantage.
Next attack's at disadvantage. Awesome. Good. Badger is going to sort of shuffle its way towards Dell. And the one that's at disadvantage is going to go ahead and move forward, is going to attack Maven with disadvantage. And you said it's just its next attack, right? Not its next...
Its next attack is at disadvantage.
Awesome. It misses. And now it's going to attempt to bite. Which also misses.
Hey!
So, Maven, what's going through your head as these two orc werewolves are bearing down on you and attempting to get through your spiritual guardians to attack you?
Well, I mean, we're busy. Don't they see we're busy? This is just uncouth.
Speaking of uncouth, Maven, it's your turn. You are still raging.
Mom's smite.
The disapproving mom's smite. Yes. Okay. So,
now a couple of things, because I know you haven't played a barbarian very much. Thing number one, you have advantage on the werewolf below you because of guiding bolt. You also have the option of reckless attack, which would allow you to get advantage on all of your attacks, but also you grant advantage to anybody attacking you. What are you going to do?
But you already have advantage on number 3.
I already have advantage on number 3, which I'm probably going to attack first. So
now, are you attacking with or without your great weapon mastery nonsense?
That's a good question. Remind me about my nonsense.
The feat great weapon mastery, among other things, allows you to take a -5 to your attack in exchange for a +10 to damage.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Okay, go ahead and roll that attack.
Yeah, sounds familiar, doesn't it? Yep. All right, so I've got my great weapon. So I've already got that set up like that. So I just do. I move this over here and I make this bigger. So I'm attacking 3.
Yep, and the granted advantage is already there, so you don't even have to hit it.
Yep. So I'm just gonna throw that down there.
Absolutely hits it. Go ahead and roll that damage. For 29 points of damage. So I'd like you to go ahead and describe what this looks like, because this is your first attack as Maven, and it is a biggin.
Yeah, so literally she just winds up and just swings. And it's like the perfect like downward like baseball swing, and the like you would think that the sound that this made connecting with the head of this like would have dented the ladle. Ladle is perfectly fine.
Now,
but she just
throwing this out there just for mechanics purposes, in case anyone's curious, that was indeed plus 19 damage. 4 for strength, 2 because it's a +2 weapon, and an extra 3 because she's raging, and then of course the plus 10 from the Great Weapon Mastery. So that's how that goes, and I believe that is not your only attack.
And the D4 Radiant.
Oh, and the D4 Radiant. That's true.
Yeah.
So you have a second attack. Now the choice becomes a little bit more salient. Do you want to continue your attack recklessly, or do you want to make your attacks normally?
I think at this point, I'm going to start with normal.
Okay. Go ahead and take your attack.
And so I'm just going to see here. So I swing it down and I hit Werewolf 3. And then I pull it back up. So I've swung down this way. I literally just pull it back up the other way like I'm backhanding Werewolf 3.
Love it. So like down and then up.
So yeah. So again with the Great Weapon mechanics.
Yep.
Because I can do that twice, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can do it on as many attacks as you want.
Yeah.
You absolutely hit. That was almost a 1, but it wasn't quite. Roll that damage.
Like,
Good God.
He is dead.
So attack number 1 is a sort of downward swing that hits it in the head and causes it to kind of lean forward. And then on the back swing, you catch it right in the face.
Yeah.
And it straight up flies back a solid 10 feet before hitting the ground and
blood
and dying.
Good.
Its skull is just mush.
Just absolutely destroyed. Yes. Yeah. So that's your action.
That is her action. Yes.
Yeah.
You still have movement, you still have bonus action, and of course, as a level 2 fighter, you also have access to action surge if you want to use that.
Point of order. You did reduce a creature to 0 HP, so
that's right. That's the other thing that Great Weapon fighting does. Thank you for reminding me, Jeff, because I forgot. It essentially gives you a cleave. So when you kill something with your Great Weapon Mastery, you get to actually take a free attack with your bonus action on another one that's in your range. So why don't you go ahead and
one more attack before
use your bonus action and attack that other one.
Where does that say that? Oh my god!
It's in the feet.
Yeah, I'm pulling it open right now.
But I'm looking at the feet.
Great Weapon Master. On your turn, when you score a critical hit with a melee or reduce a creature to 0 hit points with one, you can make one melee weapon attack as a bonus action. So anytime you crit or anytime you kill something, you can use your bonus action, take another attack.
Well, I guess I'm going to attack at Werewolf number 1.
That sounds like a great plan.
It sounds fantastic to me. She's angry.
Absolutely hits. My God. My God, what have we done? What have we created? For 25 points of damage. Okay, so now you've used your action, you've used your bonus action, you have a move, you also have the option to action surge at any point, but you can only do that once per long rest?
Short rest or a long rest. Both.
Yeah.
Either. Fighters are short rest class.
She just kind of has it up here like this, breathing for a second. That's it. I'm not moving. She's
Charlotte, at the beginning of your turn, you are the only one who managed this. I actually used the character or the party sheet to roll a perception for everybody covertly. It went really well. The only person who noticed, because the fog doesn't affect you, I assume, is Charlotte. You are able to hear a rustling from the north. You feel like while you are attacking these werewolves, you feel like there are probably more coming from the north, but you can't pinpoint where. But you can't pinpoint how many, but you're pretty sure that you're not seeing all of the werewolves that are there.
Yeah, she's going to call out in common. I think we've got more incoming from the north, but if they're anything like these chuckle fucks, I don't think we have much to be worried about. And she's going to literally dance around this guy and then sit on that log right there.
Yep.
And flip her hair, do a motion, and cast Blade Ward on herself again, and just wait. Just seem completely nonplussed.
Blade Word, refilling the...
Actually, no, because it's a cantrip, it doesn't refill my ward at all.
Oh, okay.
But that's fine. My ward's doing fine.
Your ward's doing just fine.
I will find that and put that on myself.
I have a feeling Maven's going to be learning a lot of new words this trip.
Mm-hmm.
Chuckle fucks.
I feel like Maven knew that word already and just didn't want to admit it to herself.
Please, Maven's a dwarf, knows swears that we have never heard or dreamed of.
So yeah, breaking out of the fog and the underbrush to the north, another werewolf howling its fury will go ahead and attempt to attack Delmain.
This will go well for them.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be great.
So well.
He's gonna hit, but okay.
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's absolutely not going to hit.
Well, you can't tell him what to do.
You can't tell him what to do. We're going to go ahead and attempt the bite. The bite also misses.
A surprise.
So good.
The giant...
See, that werewolf is just a rebel.
Just
Okay.
let them go into the grease and fall over. That's what they're good at.
That seems to be their special talent right now, yes. Orc 6 is going to attack Charlotte because it does not know how to take lessons.
Well, it did. Charlotte was just talking smack right in front of it.
It is going to miss, however, as Charlotte is sitting down, apparently absolutely oblivious to the world, or at least
Although,
uncaring.
If I'm sitting down, do I count as prone?
Not unless you want to actually drop prone. Like, if you want to be prone.
I want it to count as prone. I want him to have advantage to hit me.
Okay, that sounds good to me. I'll just go ahead and roll it again then.
I'll put prone on myself.
It still misses.
Okay.
Oh my lord.
Let me know when you've got prone on there so that I can...
Prone.
There we go.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
There really is some chuckle fuckery happening here. It's fantastic.
Hey, that one also misses.
His claws and his bites are just like just scraping off of her ward.
Yeah, he's still dealing with the fact that there are ice shards in his mouth and hands. Del.
Which is the one that hit me? 4?
Yeah, the one that's right above you. 4.
Or it missed, but it tried to hit
It
you.
attempted to hit you, yes.
It was a choice that he made, but that's okay. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead.
Oh.
Nice.
Sounds good to me.
Are you? Who made the? Jeff, are you okay? You made a noise.
No,
I
good.
think that was Jen.
Toll the Dead
Somebody-
is a damage cantrip, yeah?
Yep, it's a Wisdom save.
Wow, it actually succeeds the wisdom save.
He did.
All right.
That's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Dancing around each other.
I wouldn't think they were smart enough, but I guess they got to be good at something.
Yeah, wisdom is survival, is animalistic stuff.
Yeah,
Del, anything
Well,
else?
I'm looking. I was hoping that would work. So. I think that's it. Actually, I'm gonna take the hits.
Okay.
Is my intention. So yeah.
That is probably going to be happening because the werewolf that attacked you sort of pulled a clever girl moment where 2 more werewolves are sort of attacking from the sides.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and do exactly that. We'll see if this one can actually hit you. No.
He's too shiny and bright and giving off that
And
mantle.
no. So Delmain, Em, I would like you to do. Actually, let's go ahead and have Orc 5 do its thing first. 8. Yeah. So Orc 2. Oh, Orc 2 is currently in a grease pit. So we're gonna have some fun with this. It spends half of its move to stand up. Jeff, as it moves forward. We're doing this again, aren't we?
But like it gets one square forward, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna step forward, fall on its face. It's gonna spend half its movement to stand up. It's gonna attempt to aggression. Give me another one. It's gotta succeed sooner or later.
Mathematically, that is.
There it
Hey,
goes.
Look, there we go. We got there.
Betty clap.
Calder lightly claps for it.
So eventually, it's able to scramble its way out, and is going to attack Charlotte.
It has advantage
Yes.
because I am prone. She's like lounging on this fucking log.
Hey, double 18, that'll hit.
Yep.
Okay, so totally absorbed. How much damage does it take?
It takes 10 cold. That was 2 more that got through.
I love how your main like strategy when it comes to smaller enemies is just let them kill themselves on me.
Yes.
That's a crit.
Wow.
Yep. That happens. Yep.
There's a non-zero chance it might do single digits of damage.
Nope.
So hold on. How much does it actually? Okay, my ward is still up, and it takes another 10.
Gotta love abjuration wizards, and by love I mean if you're a DM, they suck.
They don't suck as a DM.
You just need different tactics.
Yeah, big fan in reality. Okay, we're gonna attempt to attack Del again. Absolutely not.
He doesn't even have a ward to blame.
We don't.
Okay, so M, because
Yep.
Del is like an old hand at this, right? Del has been through way more adventurers than a level 11 character necessarily can justify. So I want you to tell me what this looks like as suddenly there are 3 werewolves surrounding Del and he's just able to avoid every single attack. What's that look like?
I feel like there's a point where he is dodging attacks that are not being swung at him.
Nice.
So like it's one of those like I think potentially in his mind he's thinking about possibly dealing with things that are swinging with additional limbs than these werewolves currently have.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's
And
like
he's dodging those attacks too.
he's used to fighting things that are much more have many more attacks than these. Yeah, absolutely.
And like his big fuck all sword is out, but he hasn't used it yet.
Jeff, you had something?
I'm a big fan of the trope of the combat expert that does not feel threatened and is just with no sense of worry, no sense of surprise or concern, is just very effortlessly stepping and lightly moving around the opponent's attacks,
Including attacks that aren't even happening. Yeah, definitely love that. Swoops.
Swoops will continue flying around, calling out the 3 closest.
and it is probably calling out the Three Stooges routine happening behind Charlotte.
Oh yeah, no, he's illustrating. He's telling her exactly play by play what's going on in the grease.
Speaking of grease,
I don't know if any of these werewolves or anything cares about it, but the bats are all laughing at them.
Hey, so yeah,
grease is the word. Orc 7 is gonna stand up and is gonna attempt to move forward.
Nope.
Falls over. But we got one more try. Hey, there we go. And it manages to get out of the grease as well. Finally. Let's take some attacks.
Just panting with irritation.
That does hit.
I am going to cast Shield, and no, it doesn't.
Okay.
I will bump my ward back up.
So you use
Hold
a level 1 spell slot, by the way,
Yeah.
for shield, which is so good and so incredibly powerful. So now it's aiming for 5 higher, right? So this bite is not going to hit.
Yeah, so let me put the shield on me.
Yeah, does not hit with the second bite. The bite deflects off of your shield as well.
Yep.
Calder. So there's 3 little scuffles happening below you. Maven seems to be holding her own just fine. So does Dell. So does Charlotte, in fact. They all seem to be doing just fine. What do you do?
You know what? There's a funny thing about Grease. It doesn't require concentration and can be cast more than once.
Oh.
It just lasts for the duration.
Yeah, it just lasts for the duration of 1 minute. So I'm going to cast it like he's like watching this comedy of errors and just says, "Oh, you thought we were done," and we'll snap his fingers and we'll create another greased circle centered on Charlotte.
Excellent. There's another grease circle centered around Charlotte. Charlotte's already prone, so
question.
she doesn't care.
Quick question. Can grease be lit on fire?
I don't believe so, no.
The spell does not give that description.
It doesn't
In the
say
past,
it like...
In the past, it used to because it literally summoned grease.
Yeah, in 5e, web can be lit on fire, but I don't think grease can.
And that happens when it... Yeah, so
Now it would happen on their... when they enter it or when they end their turn there.
So, Werewolf 6 passed, 7 and 2 failed.
Gotcha. Okay, so a couple more prone. I'm dropping that right now. You said 2 and 7, yeah?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Because I have bonus action and I'm a prick. Can you force a strength save, DC 17 for Orc 2?
For Orc 2, yes. You said strength save?
Yep.
It will not pass.
Cool. I'm telekinetically shoving him into the overlap.
Perfect. Love it. No notes. So you shove it back into the overlap area.
He's prone on the ground. I'm just gonna like a telekinetic sweep. He just starts skidding over the grease.
Yes, love it. Perfect. Badger. Badger moves forward. Dell hasn't actually attacked anything yet. So the Badger is simply going to assist, or is going to hinder Orc 8. So Orc 8 will grant advantage on the next attack that it takes. M, you've got Guiding Bolt, right? Could you drop just the effect onto Orc 8, please? Meanwhile, we've got another werewolf that is attacking a surprisingly sturdy dwarven matron.
Does hit.
Does hit.
All right.
But again, that half damage, that was 3 damage. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Out of my...
That did actually do hit point damage, though. I think for the first time this entire combat, hit point damage has actually been done to a player character now.
Yeah, it's round 3. It's about time that happened.
The bite will hit. Now this is the one that might matter. So minimum damage, that's fine. You take 1 damage from the bite. I still need a Constitution save from you, please.
All right.
You're aiming for a 12.
Aiming for a 12. So Constitution
save.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm fine.
So it manages.
Looking out for you.
It manages like a weak claw and bite on you, but it's not really threatening you, and it's your turn.
Yeah. Bye. I swing.
Take that swing.
Hey, bada.
That hits.
She's rolling
Rolling
great
very
for
well. This is a really good, like, opening combat introduction for Maven. Absolutely destroys it. Again, give me a description.
Yeah, so like she looks kind of at whatever, like maybe there's like a small like slash with a tiny little bit of blood and like her white starched blouse.
I love it.
And then just goes again, just like big swings. I mean, she's never going to be the fastest person, but these huge swings of this heavy ladle just pastify.
I love the outrage. How dare you get a blood stain on my nice white shirt? So you still have another attack, and you have movement, and you can put the movement in between the attacks.
Yeah. So then she kind of whirls around, and just goes for the next one over here, and yeah, she just.
As Dell is engaging in this incredibly intricate dance with these werewolves.
Even my low thing hits.
You walk up and you absolutely club it on the back of the head. Go ahead and give me that damage.
Stop attacking others. That's rude.
For 28 points of damage. Absolutely absurd.
Yep.
So that was a move.
This game has not had have us been like. We're so used to spellcasting in this group. Even when Ghost is around, even when this is around, I'm always amused at these like high Titanic levels of damage.
Absolutely. Was there anything else for Maven, or are we moving on to Charlotte?
Moving on to Charlotte.
Charlotte, you're currently prone.
You reduced a creature to 0 HP. You have a bonus attack, don't you?
Yes.
You did. So
one more
you have a bonus action. Take that attack.
Yeah.
You're going to have to remind me of that too. Thank you, Jeff, because I will keep forgetting
remember that because this is kind of a thing that happens with her. So she's continuing to be like very rude,
Bad puppy. Bad puppy.
Yeah. Hold on. I got to put that off to the side because it's just I wasn't quite in the right spot for it. All right. There we go.
Yeah, that's a hit.
I'm like
roll high and you might take it down. Not quite on that second attack. Charlotte, you are having the time of your life right now.
Yeah, I think like she summoned the shield and now she's sitting in grace and there's this kind of like there's still this fog and mist around them, and I think Calder can see it more clearly than anyone else. That they're like from her dress into like the mist around them, there's this like little scattering of like sparks, kind of like static electricity.
Ooh,
and she's gonna cast Thunderclap.
Nice.
For all these people who are right around her.
Love it. I will trust you to do all the particulars. That one fails. That one fails. That one fails. Thunderclap. Oh, rip Clarion.
Yeah. This is not actually Clarion's thing. This is a cantrip.
Clarion's call was Thunder Wave.
Thunder Wave, that's
this is
right.
Thunderclap. This is the much smaller one.
Yeah, but it still did some pretty significant damage to all three of them.
And I think, and it is heard within 100 feet, where this just clap of thunder echoes out from her. And I think Calder sees too that just for a flash, her dress kind of ripples a little bit, like it's moving a little on its own.
Birds, like birds, all like scatter from the trees around. In addition to the bird noises,
I think that Calder's left arm itches a little bit.
And as in addition to the bird noises, you hear little sounds of what? What was that? What was that? What was that noise? As the birds fly away.
Run away! It's like fly away!
That is her action, and I think she's just gonna stay put right where she is. Yes. Instructions to her familiars the same as before.
Excellent. Okay. Werewolf 4 is going to continue to attack Delmain and see if we can actually do something here.
He's attacking at disadvantage. This is Werewolf.
This is Werewolf 4.
So it's fine.
4. So, yeah, okay, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, all good.
It missed anyway.
It missed anyway. And it missed again anyway. Again, Dell is just like almost not even paying attention. I'm feeling like One Punch Man vibes here, where Saitama will just like, okay.
Moving like a centimeter to get out of the way of the blow.
Like, this may as well happen.
Giant Crab is actually going to take an attack. He's going to hit.
Yeah, fuck him up, giant crab. Is it going to take him down?
It's a man-sized crab. It might.
It does not. However, I need, because it might be grappling it. Hold on. And the target is grappled. There is no save for the grapple, so it's just straight up. So it grabs onto the werewolf's like foot.
No, it's a giant crab. It's a man-sized crab.
Oh, that's right. So like
creature.
grabs it around the waist and holds it in this vice-like crab grip.
This is so good. This is such a wonderfully just bonkers fight.
Orc 6 is standing up and is beginning its turn, not ending its turn. So it's gonna make its save at the end of its turn. Let's go ahead and keep on keeping on. Hey, that's a hit with a 21.
Yep, that can hit.
Totally absorbed, and I assume I take some damage.
Oh, hold on. Yes, it takes 10 points of damage. That's my ward at 0 currently. I can still pop it up if I need to.
That does hit on the bite.
I am going to cast Shield, and no, it doesn't.
So what's your armor class with shield up?
22.
Excellent. Okay, that's Werewolf 6. Go ahead and Jeff, give me that
shield.
Jeff, give me that saving throw.
On it.
And it falls over. So the three of them are around Charlotte, who's just sitting there, and they keep standing up, taking wild swings, occasionally getting bits of ice stuck in their hands or their jaws, and then falling over. Very much Benny Hill level stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put prone on this one. Lovely, excellent, wonderful. It's Dell's turn.
I feel like Dell finds it just really funny to cast Toll the Dead again. It's just fun for him.
Absolutely. Who are you casting it on?
Take out 4. No, not 4. Sorry.
5's the one close to death.
I don't even need a close to death. I just want to do more than D8 damage. But I'll take actually, yeah, I'll just
D12 damage is fun to roll.
It fails its save?
He has not been wounded at all?
No. For 20 points of damage. So what's this? You said that he's got his falchion out, but he's not like using it. What's this Toll the Dead spell look like?
So the other end of the falchion has a small bell on it.
Like the hilt end?
Yeah.
Yep.
On the pommel. And he has like the sword like resting on the ground, and he just rings the he just like, I'm doing this hand motion that you can't see because I have my camera off, but it's, if you've ever seen a bell choir, that
Yeah, absolutely.
Very Sabriel-esque.
And again, it makes an outsized sound for the size of the bell, right? It makes this loud, like the opening of the Undertaker's intro, gong.
Yeah, it's not that loud. But the fog in the local area gets the sonic ripples.
Nice, love it.
And the damage is both some necrotic and some radiant.
Orc number 8 is going to continue the ultimately futile attempt to deal damage to Delmain.
Say that.
Yes, okay. I figure if I bad talk my dice enough, eventually I will shame them into working for me, at least for a small amount of time.
Are you negging them?
I am negging my dice, yes.
Yes.
It'll deal 8 points of damage, but you will keep your concentration.
Yep.
And bite. The bite misses. Orc 2 gets to stand up and make its attacks. So for the moment, I'm going to take prone off, but I feel like it's about to come back on very quickly. So let's go ahead and claws. Whoops. Why is it not? There we go. Absolutely not. Bite. Hey, the bite hits with a 22.
Okay.
So it'll deal 8 points of damage, all of which is absorbed once again by your ward.
Yeah.
And it takes some damage, yeah?
It is. It took 6 off my damage. Yeah, it takes 10.
And it takes 10. Go ahead and Jeff, give me that save again.
DM point of order?
Yeah.
It is in the overlap. So does it roll twice?
It doesn't matter because it failed the first one.
It failed the first one.
I'm going to say probably no. Otherwise, you
So
could just cast
that-
grease on the same spot like 15 times.
I could. Well, I actually could cast it there 15 times. It's not actually an exaggeration.
So, it will fall again.
Okay.
So effects, prone. I feel like this is going to be a thing for the rest of this fight. Orc 5 is just super wounded. Like its bell has been rung, so to speak, by Maven, and it's going to turn around and is going to attempt to attack Maven.
Oh, please do.
Because attacking anyone other than Maven would be disadvantage, right? Because of the guardians.
Yep.
So it's going to fail with its claws. But the bite will hit. For 4 points of damage, ultimately, and go ahead and give me another Constitution save, please. Once again, you're looking for a 12.
Back to my main page.
And while she's doing that, it's Swoop's turn.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Swoops is still just chilling, calling out stuff. Actually, no, I think he's going to move over here and he's going to settle down on Calder's head while keeping a look.
Like on one of the horns?
Yeah, like why is he bothering flapping his wings when Calder's right here?
Okay, Orc 7. I'm not even going to bother removing the prone yet. Oh, but I have to because of the advantage. Right. All right, hold on.
Like one attack was at ground level, misses, realizes that this is a terrible idea.
Yeah, so it is going to stand up. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the advantage button. And see if that works. Because I have a feeling it's going to be prone again very quick. Oh, that's right. Advantage doesn't stack.
Yeah, it already has advantage because I am also prone.
Right. Okay, so we're just going to roll it again then.
So one more roll, yeah.
Okay. It misses. Go ahead and I am going to go ahead and remove, because this is just funny. So I'm going to remove the prone. Go ahead and roll that saving throw again. Hey, it fails. I thought that a 16 would succeed, but nope, it does not. It fails. So it needs to roll a natural 16 or higher in order to stay up. Absolutely absurd. It is Calder's turn.
It actually has to roll a natural 17 or higher.
They have a +1.
They have a +1.
I know, but the DC is 18.
It says on the thing that it's DC 17. Regardless,
I'm looking at Frostbite.
It is your turn.
I will use the interact with object action to pet Swoops on the head. He'll glance over and just see the state of things over there, and I'll toss a frostbite at Werewolf 5. He just hit a friend.
Sure. It fails. Why don't you go ahead and describe this kill to me, please?
So it's like it's roaring, it's snapping, and it's like bringing its jaws to try and bite Maven again, and its head just turns into a frozen block.
Oh.
Just as
Shame I can't like hit it again.
You can hear like the ice cracking noises, like the frost creeps over its body, and it just turns into a solid block right there.
And I am going to say that it's teed up like a T-ball, and even though it's this is just description, right? So yeah, Maven, you're able to see the frozen head in front of you and just take a baseball swing and shatter it.
I do. Very, very very, very satisfying image. Oh man, which movie is it? Am I thinking of? Is it Demolition Man? Where there's
yes,
the frozen?
yes, at the very end of Demolition Man.
Uh-huh. Aside from that, Calder is going to cast Prestidigitation to keep Charlotte's clothes from getting ruffled or damaged in any way.
Technically, that's another action unless you're spending to quicken.
You know what? Fuck it, I will.
Okay. You gotta have an aesthetic.
I get grease all over my dress.
I'm thinking the grease is on the ground, not on the log.
The giant badger will move around and attack Werewolf 4. And in fact, I believe it gets a multi-attack. One with bite and one with claws.
It's the badger.
Does hit.
His name is Face Chomper. That name is not just for show.
And claws. Also hits. Turns out these things are pretty easy to hit. For 10 points of damage. Maven.
Yes. Okay. So, I guess I'm just gonna kind of move around here.
You're just like not slicing. You're just bashing your way through these enemies.
Bashing my way through the enemies.
At this time, I'm going to suggest, even though because hitting it's easy, right? I'm going to suggest trying out the reckless attack mechanic.
Yeah, I'm getting a little reckless. Yeah, I'll try the reckless attack.
In your actions,
fish for crits.
In your actions, there is a reckless attack. Perfect that you did that. Okay, good. Go ahead and take your attack. And there's the crit.
There's your crit.
Yeah, but the reckless attack gives me... That's disadvantage for me, right?
No. Reckless attack is advantage for you and advantage for anyone who attacks you. Go ahead and roll that damage.
And then I critted with the great club.
Yeah.
With the great club thingy. Oh, Jesus. She is a murdering machine considering all...
Welcome to being a mid to high level barbarian, my friend.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay. So we're going to do a description at the end of this because that was both a crit and a drop. So you drop the werewolf.
You now have other regular attack.
You now have a chance to sort of move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and do that if you'd like.
Not sure how to... Yeah.
I'll get you right there. Now your second regular attack
is also still advantage.
It stays on there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So go ahead and take your next regular attack. That does hit. Deal your damage. For 28. And again, because you crit, you can spend a bonus action to take yet another attack. Which is another crit.
Crit. Fucking bug him the fuck up. Come on.
This is why reckless attack is so powerful. Okay, so now I want a description because Del is here, like playing with these things, right? He's just kind of
playing with these things. I just swoosh in, and I'm still muttering about how rude these creatures are, and smelly and unkempt and uncouth, and like at one point I do pause and like nod politely at Del, who just seems to be just hanging out and just doing this really neat thing with this bell, and just like, pardon me. She actually says pardon me as she swings through from that first to the second kill I made there.
I feel like Dell will probably like dodge that with like a ma'am.
I could see Dell doing that. Yeah.
If he had a hat, you give a little tip of the cap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a PC. He has a head transmog on.
Charlotte, it's your turn. You're still surrounded by very, very silly and, unbalanced werewolves.
And I think Swoops and Pesters and Dives descriptions in her head, she just starts laughing, and she falls back off of the log laughing and rolls out of there. So they all get opportunity attacks if they want as she's rolling away.
Sure, why not? We'll go ahead and attempt that. We'll go with a bite for Orc 2. Which he will hit with a 22.
Mm-hmm.
That's bite. Does that actually do real damage?
It does. The last 2 of it do damage, and he takes 10.
I'm going to take my 10. You need to take your Constitution save, please.
Yep. So do Constitution save first against the effect. Ooh, and I don't make it.
Okay.
And then I have to do a concentration check at advantage for keeping up my flock of familiars. That one's fine.
Okay. Awesome. Wonderful. I have 2 more attacks of opportunity to make. They're both going to be claw attacks.
Mm-hmm.
That is a crit.
Mm-hmm.
For 15 points of damage from Orc 7, who will also take his 10.
No, it's gone now.
Oh, that's gone now. Okay, so
Yep.
Orc 7
It was
manages
only the
a
first.
solid hit as you're rolling your way away. And the last one...
Although I do have to make an advantage
Will
concentration
miss.
check against that other one. And I'm fine.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so you do get bitten, you do get clawed, the third one misses you, you roll away.
And as she comes back up onto her knees, laughing into her hands, her eyes are shining more bright with that rainbow color, and she just kind of opens her hands and casts Shatter at 3rd level on the space where all 3 of them are.
Gross.
So blowing up the log.
Yeah, excellent. Love it.
So
I believe that's some... while you're doing that, I'm going to pull up Shatter.
It's one of my... I'm using a wizard spell level, but it is a warlock spell for her.
Yeah, the system allows for it. It's just weird.
Yep.
10-foot radius sphere, Constitution
so the
save,
Grease area.
or
yeah.
3d8 thunder damage.
And she's upcasting it, so it's 4d8.
So it's 4d8 thunder damage.
So fail, and fail.
No, there was 1 success. But it'll track it.
Yeah. Gross. Okay, so the log explodes. Do you want to go ahead and give me a description of this? It does kill one of them and gravely wound the other 2.
Oh yeah, a non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also take damage if it's in the spell's area, so possibly part of a tree too.
Yeah, so the log, part of the tree, just there are wood shards exploding everywhere.
I think as she puts her hands forward, it's almost like that static electricity sticks to her hands and kind of almost shoots up in the kind of a shape of teeth, as then she opens her mouth and it sounds like a dragon's roar, just bellows forward, reverberating around that spot.
Excellent.
That's cool.
And their ears begin bleeding.
And you know what? Because that was 5, 10. She's going to stand up.
Okay.
So I'll take the prone off.
We have 2 more werewolves left. Why don't we go ahead and narrate how this battle ends, because I don't see myself doing really any more damage at this point. So why don't we go ahead and narrate, how do we want these last two, who are going to be more or less stuck in their little grease spot, how do we finish them off?
I was this is no longer the fight is now ending. Calder was just going to rain acid on them and then kill and just melt them.
Yeah, I figure between Calder and Charlotte, it's pretty easy to like focus your spells so that it cuts them down before they're even able to get out of the grease area.
Yeah.
And bonus action to regrow a spell slot.
And even following his example, she'll use Acid Splash to also do acid on him.
Nice. So you managed to take out the werewolf scouting party that was seeking, as you were, the hut of Baba Yaga. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a 10-minute break. And when we come back, we're going to do a little bit more, but I feel like we're coming up on the end of the session anyway. We've been recording for over 2.5 hours now. So we'll do a little bit more after this, and then we will call it after that. So 10 minutes. Please make sure to stick around if you're watching, and thank you for watching so far. See you in a bit.
Thank you.